Hey everybody, Mark Comfort here. My wife Mimi and I own Cruise Holidays and Comfort Tours and Travel, 34 years, going on 35 years. And one of the things we've done a lot of is to have events like this. And it's kind of interesting. Before the pandemic, everything was in person. And since the pandemic and during the pandemic, we are doing both webinars like this that we can podcast. We record, we podcast them on our website, on the favorite places you go to get your podcasts. And then we do in-person events too. So my goodness gracious, if you want to come to any event we have, I would urge you just to go to our website, 𝗏𝗂𝗡𝗏𝗂𝗏𝑘c.com, and you'll find all the events that we have going on, webinars or seminars. Seminars we call in-person, webinars are like this. But I'm so excited about this because over the last about 12 to 15 years, Mimi and I have really got into the river cruise industry. This segment of the vacation industry called river cruising is the fastest growing segment of the entire vacation industry. And it is also the highest rated satisfaction segment of the vacation industry by the people who go on these river cruises all over the world, and including the United States of America. I do want to tell you this. Mimi and I have made it a point to get on all of the river cruise lines that you see represented today here, and to get our staff on there, and to get our staff and ourselves to as many of the different rivers that we can. And why we do that is so we can counsel you or advise you from firsthand experience. And I personally think that is absolutely invaluable. And that's what we offer to you, the service and the ability to match you up with which one of these cruise lines you feel is right for you after you get all the information. So today we will go through and we'll have about a 15-minute time for each of these different fabulous river cruise lines to talk about what's unique and special about their line. And then we will talk a little bit about some of the rivers that are popular, some of the rivers that are going to be the upcoming rivers people will go to, and we'll talk about what is included in the river cruise experience and why do people love river cruising so much. And I will tell you this, it's kind of fascinating, and I'll be anxious to hear all the representatives, but I'd love to know. I'm hearing that the biggest segment of new river cruisers are coming from the ocean cruise industry to river cruising, but I also know that there's an awful lot of people that are not ocean cruisers that are tour, they like tours or they like doing it themselves, but they are now trying river cruising because they're hearing from their friends and family how fabulous river cruising is. So with that said, I can't wait to hear what all the different river cruise lines say about that too, because that's what I hear. One way or another, if you've not river cruised, please let me encourage you to try this river cruise experience and allow us the opportunity to match you up with the best river cruise line and the best river and the best pre and post package and air package and travel insurance, all those things that go with it that you can possibly have. So I think with that said, I think let's get this going. And if I'm not mistaken, we have Sonia Smith with Viking Cruises who will be on with us first. Sonia, we've got about 15 minutes, and at the end, I'm going to come back and after all of this, all 5 of our river cruise line representatives share with what's unique about their river cruise line. I'm going to ask each one of these representatives some questions that I think you'll be glad to hear about, and they will be questions that hopefully you caught or were not talked. If they were not talked about, and I think it's important, I'll ask them that question. So with that said, Sonia, it's all yours. Floor is yours.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. Thanks so much for having me today. It's always a pleasure to be with you and your staff because they're so fantastic and they know so much about river cruising, and it makes a special time for people when they're planning to work with an agency like yours that has so much experience in this field. So let's get started. Mainly, we are known for our river cruises, but we have expanded to ocean. We have our Mississippi River Cruise and Expedition. Today, I'm going to focus, though, on our Viking Longships, which is our river cruises. We do 7 continents, 95 countries, 403 ports, 5 oceans, and 20 rivers. So we have 20 rivers, Mark, that we're actually doing now with Viking. What I love about river cruising, and you've kind of mentioned this a little bit as well, is the fact that it's such a relaxing way to vacation. and you're with only 190 passengers. So it's really special. By the second day, you're already seeing some familiar faces and knowing people from the ship. We're not everything to all people. One of the things I like to point out that's unique about Viking is we do have everyone be at least 18 years of age to travel with Viking. So we don't have kids clubs or anything for kids to do because we don't take kids. So we definitely are 18 and up. Our company is also very destination oriented. So we really pride ourselves in getting into some amazing ports and cities for your guests to enjoy some of the amazing, cuisine in that area. Of course, our ship has all regional menus as well as regular menus. We highlight wines from the area, beer from the area. It's a very highly all-inclusive product, which I'm going to talk more about in just a minute. And we did pay our staff through COVID, so we really kept the majority of our staff in the industry, which made it really easy for us to get up and going again after COVID. So that makes a huge difference in the quality of our product. So our ships are very understated elegance. I always tell people, if you love Scandinavian kind of designs, that's really kind of what we have in our ships. We use Scandinavian designers and architecture folks, so they really have spent a lot of time in making sure that our spots are very airy and they flow well, and they have very up-class, type of artwork. We use a lot of tans, ivories, and creams, very elegant touches with beautiful leathers and stitching. Sometimes people will say to me, oh, is it like IKEA? And I'm like, no, I can afford IKEA. This is definitely a little bit more, upscale on our ships. What I love is our ships are all identical. We have 86 river cruise ships, and they are all identical. So that's kind of nice. People get the layout of one of our ships, and they really know what all of our ships then look like. So we're really kind of a all-inclusive type product with Viking. If you've ever traveled to Mexico or the Caribbean, you may have experienced that all-inclusive concept. And that's very, popular, of course, in those areas. So we've taken that all-inclusive concept and we've brought it to river cruising. We include every day one shore excursion in that port of call. So if we're in Vienna, we'll have a local guide take out. We usually have about 6 or 7 guides from that area that will take out smaller groups, and they will use a Vox, so you can hear the local guide no matter where you are in the group. And that Vox also does work with hearing aids. It's easy to hear the guide that way. You don't have to be on top of them. And then we also have, of course, our onboard meals. All of our meals are included, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and also several snacks during the day. We do have our main dining area on our river cruises, and then we do have an aquavit terrace area that we use for breakfast and lunch, and we do not have any type of seating assignments or times. So you can come and go as you please. You can have lunch anywhere from 11 to 2, or dinner from 7 to 9:30, breakfast early in the morning. So it's really nice because you really set your schedule. We also have wine, beer, and soft drinks always free of charge, as much as you want, unlimited on all of our meals. And we also, of course, have no corkage fees. So if you want to use a bottle of wine you bought, maybe in one of the ports of call, you can bring that on board and our staff will take care of it for you. We have a specialty coffee and tea station that's always open 24 hours a day with little cookies and all kinds of little, croissants and things like that. We hand you bottled water as you're going out for your excursion every day, plus you always have bottled water in your stateroom. Our Wi-Fi is completely free and it works anywhere on the ship. So you can use it from your stateroom, you can use it from our dining rooms, you can even use it when you're just right off the ship. If you're sitting maybe in one of the cute little benches right off of the ship, you can use it there as well. And then all of our port charges and government taxes are included. So, really you only have maybe 1 or 2 things, and that would be like gratuities and your shopping that would not be included, but everything else is included, and that makes it really unique for our guests. These are our top itineraries, Rhine Getaway, Romantic Danube. If you have a combination of the two, you could do our Grand European, which is our 15-day trip, including the Main River. So we have great 8-day and 15-day trips all down the river. And it gives you a chance to really see some of the beauty of these countries like Germany and the Netherlands and beautiful Switzerland, which is one of my favorites, and Austria and Hungary. So these are definitely very popular itineraries for us. I want to mention that we do have river cruises for wine lovers. In fact, Mark, I just booked the Chateau Rivers and Wine for my girlfriends and I. We're leaving on July 28th. So we have great wine tours. If you've got, a group of girls that love to travel together, these are really fun. And then we also have amazing history cruises for our history enthusiasts. So if you've never been to Normandy, and next year is the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and we do have our cruises out and ready to go for that next year. So this gives you a chance to get that booked right away because those will sell out very, very quickly. But river cruises for history enthusiasts are very, very popular as well. So there's really a river cruise for anybody depending on where you'd like to go. We have a brand new product that just started in August. That's our Viking Mississippi. Our brand new ship holds 386 guests. It is fully sold out this year, but we do have space for next year, 2024. This does go up and down the Mississippi, starting all the way from St. Paul, Minnesota, down to New Orleans, with great stops in between. St. Louis being one of the starting and stopping points, so that makes it nice. If you'd like to spend some time in St. Louis, you could do a pre or post there. I hear the men just love our stop in the Quad Cities for our John Deere factory. That's been a very big highlight for people, it sounds like. So, but these are just a few of the different itineraries that we have that I have here on the slide. And of course, the agents at Cruise Holidays are very familiar with these, and they can help and guide you on what's the correct or the one that you would be most interested in. So wrapping up today, I'd just like to say that I know that you're in great hands with Cruise Holidays, with their agents and their staff and management. And we would like to give you a special offer if you do book something with Viking, and it can be any of our cruises, not just river, it could be our ocean product as well. We would like to offer you as the guest opportunity to travel with us and get $100 shipboard credit per person. That would be good until April 5th. So you have 2 weeks to meet with one of the travel counselors and go through what you're looking for in a river cruise, where you'd like to visit, and then they can help you decide which one is the best for you. And we're really excited to get you on Viking so you can see the service that we provide as well as the amazing meals and sites. And I want to thank Mark and his staff today for inviting me to the webinar today. So thank you, Mark.
Well, my goodness, thank you, Sonia. I mean, the reality is, I bet everybody watching or that will watch this has probably received 1, 2, 3, 4, or 100 flyers from Viking. Or I've seen Viking commercials on TV. Downington Abbey was the one that was, I think, has really put Viking on the map. And the reality is, Viking really got the name or the idea or the start of river cruising going, didn't you? Honest to goodness, Sonia, what was that?
We really did. Yeah, 25 years ago. We just had our birthday in August.
And it's so interesting for us being in this business 34 years to watch the growth of river cruising. And, I'll get to these questions at the end, but we've got a couple extra minutes, Sonia. What you do a lot of business with first-time cruisers. Which rivers are the most popular for first-timers?
Yeah, you're right, Mark. A lot of people do come to Viking as a first-time cruiser because they know our name and they've seen us on TV and what have you. Definitely, I always say the Rhine is probably our top seller for a first-timer because it goes to some amazing, beautiful sites, as well as seeing the vineyards, beautiful castles, and you can't hardly get better than the Rhine River going from Amsterdam down to Basel, Switzerland. So that is probably our top cruise. And then I would say our second one for first timers would be our Danube. And that one actually does start in the Munich, Germany area, and it sails all the way down to Budapest, Hungary. So those two would definitely be the two that are most popular. If you do have a 15-day time limit that you could go for a couple weeks, then do the combination of the Rhine and the Danube, and that's called our Grand European cruise. And people love that because they're really seeing a lot of countries and getting to go into port and visit these beautiful cities. So that one is also very popular if people have a little bit longer time.
Sonia, it's kind of fascinating. Since the pandemic, we've seen more people do we call them back-to-backs, where they do the Rhine first and the Danube second,
yes,
or the Danube first and the Rhine second. And then we can customize a pre-package before your river cruise begins, and after it ends, if you have more time. But more and more people are taking more time to see them, and I personally think that's wise because you've got one airfare.
Yeah, that really makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, because sometimes the airfare, it's a big part of your trip as far as your expense. So if you're already over there and you have the time, why not take advantage of that and spend more time over there? I definitely agree with you on that.
Well, thank you, Sonia. I really appreciate your support. You've been a huge supporter of us here at Cruise Holidays, and we are, I know, one of your top agents, and we appreciate that. But most importantly, we appreciate the support you give us, which allows us, like the special shipboard credit offer that you are given to our clients until April 5th, special values that they can't get elsewhere. So we do appreciate that so much.
You're sure welcome, and we do appreciate you being our #1 account here in the Kansas City area, Mark. Thank you so much to you and your staff.
And thank you, Sonia. Appreciate it. That was Sonia Smith with Viking Cruises. And now we will go to Uniworld Boutique River Cruise Line. And I will tell you, we've got Tony Dockery on with us. And Tony, when you come and you train our staff, the unique differences of what we just heard from Viking, where all their ships are the same, and there's a lot of benefits to that, I get that. But the uniqueness of the different river cruise lines really are going to be quite evident in what we just heard and what we're going to have you tell us, because your cruise ships are uniquely different and uniquely boutique with every single ship you have. Is that correct? And by the way, welcome to Cruise Holidays and to our River Cruise Showcase.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Yes, exactly. And I know you've experienced, obviously, some of our Uniworld sailings, and every ship is truly unique and really inspired around the destination that we travel. And, that's just one of the many things that really make Uniworld unique. So I'm excited to share this with everyone today. So just kind of jumping, am I muted or you muted? So just kind of jumping in, hopefully everyone. Oops. And forgive me, I hit the go button there a little quick, but I think that video just really kind of highlights what Mark was sharing, is that we do have so many unique things to offer, and no two river cruise lines are alike. And so hopefully I have the opportunity to really just kind of touch on that. So really, why Uniworld? We do offer the most all-inclusive and really premium amenities for our guests. Truly just focusing on delivering the most amazing and outstanding service. And what does that mean? We have one of the best staff to guest ratios on the rivers. We have, on average, the smallest ships as well. So we average only about 120 guests across our fleet, which is only a collection of 17 ships. So some of our ships the largest accommodates 159 passengers, all the way down to our smallest ship on the RA Amazon, which is only 38 passengers. So really just delivering amazing service is what we look to do. And obviously the amazing and just truly remarkable award-winning ships, they are really inspired around the destination that we travel. And also even the farm fresh cuisine is really just very unique on a Uniworld ship. We look to really source everything locally. So you'll see our culinary staff out in the local markets. Guests have the opportunity to join them if they like, to really see how they select fresh produce and meats for the meals that they prepare on board. So it is not only a 5-star dining experience, but really just farm fresh delivery. And then we also include a selection of carefully curated experiences and excursions. And many of these, again, are going to offer our Uniworld guests unique opportunities. And again, I know, Mark, you and Mimi have traveled with us and have experienced some of those. So we just, wherever we have an opportunity to deliver a private experience or semi-private experience or a unique do as locals do type of experience, we look to deliver that to our guests. So what are those all-inclusive amenities? Really, first and foremost, endless, unlimited choice of premium wines and spirits, and this is throughout all of our European sailings. There are some limitations with our Egyptian sailing, and that's, obviously specific in that region, as well as India. But aside from that, you'll really have the opportunity throughout the day, not just with meal services, to enjoy endless pours, unlimited wines that are going to be locally sourced from that region. And again, that beautifully prepared dining experience. But all of the airport to ship transfers are included as well. And I know your travel advisor from Cruise Holidays of Kansas City is going to help ensure that your flights come within that time frame that we need to get you to the ship on time. So they will work hand in hand with us on that. All of your onboard gratuities are included. So really, truly, from the moment you step on board the ship, you don't have to worry about anything else. It's all taken care of for you. You'll have an opportunity to participate in sometimes 1, 2, or even a choice of 3 excursions and experiences. Again, many of them that are going to be special and unique. And I know, again, your travel advisor is going to help direct you to an itinerary that's going to give you the opportunity to experience the destinations and the excursions, as well as UNESCO sites that you're truly interested in. Of course, shipboard Wi-Fi is included, so you can stay connected with family and friends at home and post pictures and share with them about your travel experience as you're on your sailing. Also unique with Uniworld, we actually offer a multitude of wellness opportunities. So we have wellness instructors on board, and this is very unique with the river cruise line. They will conduct yoga on the deck, whether it's sunrise or sunset, or stretching classes. There's a fitness center on board every one of our ships, as well as spa services available as well. So you're really able to take advantage of all of those opportunities that we have. And then providing amazing entertainment every evening for our guests. We many times will bring on local entertainers, so it's reflective from the region. But new this year, we are introducing a 70s theme night. So for anyone who may have traveled with us last season, it was a Roaring 20s theme. We're doing a fun 70s theme party on one of the sailing nights. So you can kind of plan for that. But also a number of our itineraries, we have an evening or overnight experience as well. So they have an opportunity to do a night out in the ports that are overnight in the destination. And of course, if you are a suite guest and booking in a suite accommodation, you will have in-suite butler service provided for you. And these are classically trained butlers that are really there to kind of serve every need that you have. And no request is too small. But all of our guests can really expect to enjoy these just beautiful personal touches and experiences on board our ship, as well as in the staterooms, from the robes and slippers that we provide, 24-hour room service, which again is very unique in the river cruise industry, and then concierge services on board all of our ships as well. So even if you want to explore a port or destination on your own, our concierge staff is there to assist you. So again, those one-of-a-kind award-winning ships, just to highlight that no two ships are alike. They're going to be really reflective of the destination. Even no two suites are alike on board the same ship. You're going to have a lot of beautiful spaces to relax and unwind, enjoy the lounge, the bar area, enjoy the spa services if that's something that interests you. And we, again, look to really deliver these amazing experiences wherever possible. So this is just one beautiful example you can see in this image where it's just a handful of guests. So we really do look to provide these private and semi-private experiences. So Dojo's Palace here is one example of that. But also with our Venice and Jewels of Veneto itinerary, guests have the opportunity to do one of those evening experiences. And we do a private candle lighting ceremony in St. Mark's Basilica, and it's just for our Uniworld guests. And I will tell you, everyone that I have spoken to that has done this itinerary and had that experience, they talk about just really how stunning it is, that they have goosebumps just from being there, and it's just such a small, intimate group that's exploring that privately. So many opportunities such as this within our itineraries. So we do cover Europe at a glance with itineraries from 7 nights, 8 days, all the way to 15 and 20 nights plus. We do also cover rivers of the world, and I'll kind of touch on that briefly. But within our European sailings, we have revamped that Venice and Jewels of Veneto itinerary. So it's really focused on that Veneto region and no more of the Po itinerary. And you have the opportunity for this beautiful overnight in Burano. And as I mentioned, exploring the St. Mark's Basilica. We have a number of additional new itineraries as well in Europe. So again, work with your cruise holidays of Kansas City travel advisor. They will help go over these options and really help you to determine what itineraries are best suited for you and what you're looking to experience. But we do also cover some of the extraordinary destinations as well. So I know, Mark, you guys have had the opportunity to explore Egypt on the Nile. We have 2 ships on the Nile, and this is one of our top selling itineraries right now. But also we cover the Ganges through India, as well as the Mekong River through Vietnam and Cambodia. And then where the smallest ship is that I mentioned, the Aria Amazon, travels the Peruvian portion of the Amazon. And just truly a remarkable itinerary and experience for our guests. So we do have some cruise and rail packages. And again, this is a new one for our extraordinary destination. So if you are wanting to do the Sacred Ganges through India, we have an option to do a luxury cruise and rail extension with the Maharaj Express. So that is an amazing opportunity as well, just to further explore the region. So one thing I really want to touch on with everyone today is we do have an amazing opportunity for you to book into a remarkable itinerary, Portugal and Spain and that Douro River Valley. Again, another really hot destination for us right now. This is on our stunning super ship, the 𝗤𝗥𝗡𝗄𝗃. So we have a date, November 12th of this year. If you're still planning and looking for an opportunity to travel this year, there's an amazing savings option available through Cruise Holidays of Kansas City. And you have guaranteed availability if you book by March 31st. Otherwise, obviously, it's going to be based on availability, but it's a truly stunning itinerary going from Porto to Lisbon. And we have a number of just, again, amazing excursions and experiences that you'll have the opportunity. And I've included just a few of the highlights here. Vineyard hikes, we do an evening dinner with a local family as well. So that is very unique opportunity, as well as exploring the Castelo Rodrigo. So there, it's just truly remarkable itinerary. And again, I know your travel advisor can talk you through this itinerary in detail and all of the amazing ports and experiences that are included as part of it. It is a 10-night cruise, 24 meals, and there are 13 excursions for you to choose from, including 6 of them that are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So we have an amazing flash sale. It actually just started yesterday. This is on select itineraries in 2023. Most of these are going to be May and June. I think there's might be a couple in July, but this is just going on for a limited time. And I have the opportunity to also offer you a $100 bonus savings for any of the sailings booked by April 5th on 2023 sailings. So that is a show special that we're offering today. Additionally, we have the Year to Remember sales event, and this continues through March 31st as well. And there's about 300 different itineraries in 2023 that offer anywhere from $500 to $1,500 savings. And again, this can be combinable with the show special of a $100 bonus. And I don't want to be remiss in leaving out our solo travelers, because we have such an amazing solo traveler program. There are a number of itineraries where we have completely waived the solo supplement. Most of those traveling in the spring, but again, combinable with this bonus savings as well. And we do a really great job of welcoming the solo travelers at the beginning with a welcome reception. It gives them an opportunity to really meet one another and make a connection before the start of their sailing. And of course, amazing loyalty program. We offer additional savings for anyone who has traveled not only with Uniworld, but if you've traveled with any of our TTC family of brands. Many of the itineraries will offer savings from $150 to $250 or more. And that is all combinable with the show bonus savings, as well as combinable with any of our public offers. So I do appreciate your time today. Again, we are part of the TTC family of brands, so you may already be familiar with a number of those, and really appreciate your time today. And thank you for having us, Mark.
Boutique, whoops. Yeah, your ships are uniquely boutique in each of the ship's designs, and it's designed towards the areas that you go to. When you talk about those extraordinary destinations, I just love it, because we did just have a full ship charter with you on the Nile River, and what a great experience that was. And we've been to India with you on the Ganges River. Talk about a unique cultural experience, but again, an extraordinary destination. So Tony,
Yeah,
thank
absolutely.
you so much for joining us, and I really appreciate that. I didn't hear that you were going to give us those extra offers, our clients, so thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, and when we get done with this, I'll have a few more questions for everybody, but right now, just to stay on time, I'm going to introduce Mr. Taylor Henwood with American Queen Voyages. And Taylor, hey, welcome to the River Cruise Showcase by Cruise Holidays of Kansas City. And you know, it's kind of interesting. How many years has American Queen been cruising up and down the Mississippi River and the Snake and Columbia River and some of the tributaries? Quite a while, right?
Yeah, in its current capacity, American Queen we were formerly known as American Queen Steamboat Company. We rebranded to American Queen Voyages. So we took two brands, which is Victory Cruise Line and American Queen Steamboat Company. We simply just kind of put it under one banner. But we've been doing this for about 10 years, starting with the American Queen back in about 2012. Oh, you there, Mark?
Yep, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna go for it. So I'm Taylor. I'm the regional account manager for what we call the Southeast of the United States here. So we've been currently about 10 years we've been sailing the U.S. rivers, but we're not just the U.S. rivers. I mean, for the purposes of this presentation, I'm going to strictly talk about what we're doing on the U.S. Side, but we also go up to Alaska via Canada as well. We go up to the Great Lakes. So we're really mostly a North American product, but we're most known for the Mississippi River and the tributaries of the Mississippi, and then also the Pacific Northwest. I think it's kind of like the hidden gem of the whole product is that we go to the Pacific Northwest to the Columbia and Snake Rivers, and I'll show a little bit more about that. What I'm going to do, if I can, and hopefully this works, is just show a quick video just kind of overlapping all of the U.S. river product offers that we have, and then I'll go into a little bit more detail about each one.
Sailing on a U.S. river is all about the feel. Our paddle wheelers recreate the steamboat heyday of the late 1800s with all the modern conveniences of today. Our fleet of authentic and iconic paddle wheelers feature fully functioning paddle wheels. These wheels are not just there for looks. They move, they churn, and when the bucket boards hit the water just right, the spray comes off and the sun hits it, projecting a beautiful rainbow. This nostalgia and charm, along with the history of sailing on American rivers, is what makes AQV unique. In the heartland of America, we break out the rivers by region. The lower Mississippi, which is our most popular itinerary, sails between the big cities of New Orleans and Memphis, showcasing historical homes and sites, as well as the battlefield in Vicksburg, to the heart and soul of the Mississippi Delta, where the gospel and blues comes to life. On the upper Mississippi River, the voyage begins to focus on the beautiful scenery along the riverbanks, with wildlife like bald eagles flying by, and charming small towns such as Hannibal, Missouri, where you can explore places like Mark Twain's boyhood home. The upper Mississippi River also has a series of locks that the vessel must traverse through, proving a unique experience for our guests on board. You can also combine the upper and lower Mississippi for a longer, mighty Mississippi River cruise. The tributaries of the Ohio, Tennessee, Cumberland, and Illinois rivers also have locks to navigate through. On the Ohio River, guests will enjoy exploring big cities like Pittsburgh or Louisville while they sail through the Appalachian Mountains and take in the culture of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, or visit places like Paducah, one of 9 UNESCO creative cities in the United States. On the Tennessee and Cumberland rivers, small town charm is set amongst the majestic Blue Ridge Mountains, historical battlefields, and unique sites, such as the rail yard showcasing the famed Chattanooga Choo Choo. Up in the Pacific Northwest, sailing on the Columbia and Snake Rivers is all about exploring the dramatic scenery of the Columbia River Gorge, as well as the history and culture of the area. Here, guests will follow in the footsteps of Lewis and Clark as they sailed west in 1805 and learn about the deep native culture that is well established in the area. These rivers also have a series of locks to go through, and the John Day Lock has the highest guillotine-style lock in the United States. Our paddle wheelers have ushered in a renaissance for U.S. river cruising, and each vessel is U.S. built, U.S. flagged, and features an all-American crew. These are the types of vessels designed to sail on U.S. rivers and what you're expecting to see, a bit of America's historical past.
Okay, so that's a quick overview of what we have to offer for the U.S. rivers. So kind of focusing on what we have on the top here, the American Queen's, our flagship vessel, was actually built back in the 90s, and we refurbished it in 2017. It's the largest one on the Mississippi River. It's actually a true steamboat and a paddle wheeler as well. So it is a functioning steamboat, and it has a total capacity of about 411 passengers. Now, when you're looking at the Countess, the Duchess, and the Empress, all these vessels have less than 250 person capacity on board. So they're truly boutique vessels. The vessels on the bottom here, these are our lake and ocean vessels that go to Alaska and the Great Lakes. But again, just for the purpose of this video, we're going to go over kind of what's US river-based. And as we're talking about in the video, we're most famous for the Mississippi River cruises. Most of our itineraries that we have to offer are going to be 9 days in total. So like a total vacation time of 9 days. That's going to include a pre-night hotel in the package and the day of embarkation. So you're going to be spending about 7 days on the water. And you can kind of chop it up a few different ways. You can go round trip from New Orleans, which we offer on occasion. And most of the time you're going to be sailing from New Orleans to Memphis or Memphis to New Orleans. We also offer from Minneapolis down to St. Louis or St. Louis up to Minneapolis as well. Besides the Mississippi River, we go off on the tributaries as well. So we have a lot of different oddball itineraries that can take you to places from like Louisville out to St. Louis and Memphis, or we can go from Nashville, which is the Clarksville area of Tennessee, and then we'll take you out to St. Louis and other areas as well. So that way you get to see a little bit more of the country. If you're trying to explore all the rivers of the US, this is also another way you can connect the two as well. Great Lakes, again, this is something that we do offer in the summertime. I'll just mention it very quickly. We go from Chicago to Toronto and then Toronto to Chicago. It's an 11-day itinerary we do have to offer. Technically not river cruise, but it's something that we do package in the summertime. This is my personal favorite, is the Columbian Snake River. I think anybody that's trying the US river market for the first time should look into the Columbian Snake River. A few reasons why I really like this itinerary. This is also about a 9-day voyage as well. On occasion, we do round trip out of Portland, Oregon. This is going to be 9 days. We go from March to about the November timeframe every single year. So it is a seasonal cruise. And the reason why I like this is because you're going to want to get the best weather in the country, in the Pacific Northwest, in the summertime up here. And also you get very beautiful dramatic landscapes as well. So you go through the Columbia River Gorge. As you saw in the video, you go all the way out to Astoria, so you get to see the Pacific Ocean. So this is my personal favorite out of the itineraries that we have to offer. We're also all-inclusive. So what does this mean? So when you look at our package and you look at our pricing, it's going to include this. You're always going to get a pre-night hotel before your stay. So for example, if you're staying in Spokane and going out to Portland, Oregon, you can get a free night hotel in Portland or New Orleans or Memphis, or wherever destination you start off with, you get a hotel. This then will lead into the next day. So you get breakfast the next morning. We'll pick you up from the hotel and we'll bring you to the vessel. And then that's where you start your voyage. Once you're on the vessel, you're going to get this included. You're going to get beverages included, not just during lunch or dinner. It's going to be anytime the bar is open. So the bar starts opening around 11 a.m. in the morning and closes whenever, basically about 11 p.m. It's going to include all the drinks. It's going to include beer, wine, cocktails. The only thing that you could pay extra for are premium drinks. Premium drinks might be like top shelf liquors, like 12-year-old scotches, but most everything else is going to be included with that. We also include all food on board. There's no specialty restaurants, so our main dining, I would describe as like 4-star dining, is going to be included there as well. We have nightly entertainment on all of our vessels on the river. And then we also include shore excursions. Our shore excursions on the river will be motor coaches that will pick you up from the vessel. So for example, if you stay in Natchez, Mississippi on the lower Mississippi River itinerary, we'll pick you up from the vessel in Natchez on one of these motor coaches here. And we'll give you a guided tour with a historian from the city. And the vessel, or the motor coach will act as a hop on and off bus throughout the city. So it'll pick you up around the town. You can jump back on the bus. The bus will bring you right back to the vessel. And that's what you can do that day. You can also do premium shore excursions as well as an optional tours. So we have like swamp boats, zip lining in the Pacific Northwest. We got 4-wheelers if you're really into 4-wheeling as well too. So there's a lot more like outdoor activities as well that you can add on in addition to it. And then in Alaska, we have a lot of Zodiac boats that will take you through our Zodiac product as well. But that's with our Alaska. That's another presentation. What we're doing right now for as a special offer here is we're doing a $200 per stateroom onboard credit. So we're all inclusive, but as I mentioned, we do offer premium drinks and premium shore excursions in addition to everything else that we have. And that's going to be good till April 11th. So anytime when you book with Cruise Holidays up until April 11th, you're going to get a $200 per stateroom onboard credit in addition to everything else that we have to offer. So one of the good things about booking through advisors like Cruise Holidays is that you're going to get everything that we have to offer direct, plus we're going to give the $200 per stateroom onboard credit in addition to that as well. So bring it back to you, Mark. Oop. You there, Mark? Sorry, I'm not hearing it. Oh, well, 1 second.
There we go.
Hey,
Modern technology. I love it. I love it. Hey, Taylor, I thank you so much for informing us all about American Queen. And I have to tell everybody, we had a chance in 2005, I led a group, Mimi and I led a group recreating the 200th anniversary of Lewis and Clark's last segment on the Columbia Snake River with you guys. And my gosh, was that not only historic, but it was the topography was just fascinating, and I just fell in love with the Pacific Northwest. It was absolutely beautiful countryside, but we learned so much. So I agree with you, Taylor. You said maybe for somebody trying river cruises in America first, try the Columbia Snake River, and I would strongly say yes to that.
I strongly suggested it. The Mississippi River is kind of the bread and butter for a lot of the river cruises and ourselves, but the fastest growing segment for us is the Pacific Northwest. We see a lot of interest in that, especially from people in the Southeast that live in the South and the Midwest. They want to try something different. In the summertime, it's beautiful weather. So it's definitely a big hit for us.
You know, it's also interesting. I find so many people that we found want to go to Europe primarily for history, right? And history is one of their big deals. Well, there's so much history in the United States that many of us wait until we're a little older to experience, but don't wait, do it now. The other thing that we've noticed too, Taylor, is there's been a lot more interest in driving to the embarkation areas. So like in our situation in Kansas City, people can drive to St. Louis to get on a river cruise vessel there too, and that's always popular, always very, very popular, especially with the price of air nowadays going to Europe and other places. So Taylor, also, did you mention, I can't remember, but isn't it new for this year that gratuities and port taxes and fees are not additional, they're included in the price?
Yeah, that's correct. So we've rolled it all into one. So we have gratuities, port taxes, everything's going to be included to that. So we're really all inclusive. The only thing in addition that you could pay for if you really wanted to, once you pay the fee up front, is the premium shore excursions and then premium beverages on board. But a lot of times we have specials like the one we're running with you right now that help you out with any kind of tours that you may want to pay in addition. So once you walk off the vessel, you don't really have to worry about anything afterward.
Well, there again, thank you so much for having these extra specials offered to us, because a lot of times people mistakenly think they can book direct with a vendor and get a better deal, but that's just not true, is it, Taylor?
No, that's not true.
And now you heard it, and all the vendors here today will tell you that. So wherever, we have something for everybody, no matter where you're looking for, what time of the year you want to go or what time in your life you're wanting to go. There's so many opportunities, and I just think that there's no doubt about it. River cruising is so popular, and again, the satisfaction rate is so high that I just encourage you. That's why we're having this event today. And it is recorded. We podcast this, so if you want to tell your friends or family about it, we go to our website or go to anywhere where you get your podcasts, and you can re-listen to this whole presentation. It's about 85, 90 minutes. So thank you again, Taylor. I really appreciate you. And one last thing, Taylor, you used the word iconic earlier. That's really truly what American Queen is. You're iconic, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. The American Queen definitely is an iconic vessel going up and down the river. If you're local to that area, everybody knows that boat.
Myself muted. There we go. We will now go to Marcy New, and Marcy is our AmaWaterways representative. And don't you love technology, Marcy? Neither do I got to tell you, thank goodness.
We're having some technical difficulties, so bear with us just a second.
We had to work on my situation a little earlier. So Marcy, how about that? Have you got everything now?
I'm sorry?
I see you on the screen. I see your presentation.
I know, I can see you too. I'm just trying to get my presentation up so we can talk about it.
Not a problem. Let me just share with everybody. The other thing I'd like you to do, those of you watching today, go to our website, 𝗏𝗂𝗡𝗏𝗂𝗀𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 on there all of our hosted groups, and I do a lot of hosted groups. Actually, part of our staff, Lynette Talge and Andrea Redding, are hosting a Christmas markets river cruise December 5th through the 12th of this year. Gosh, I've got that. I've got two things coming up that I was going to surprise people with, but I'll tell everybody now. Marcy, did Jess help you get it ready yet? Should we keep the surprise, or should I tell them now?
Yeah, can you see it, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead and I'll tell everybody the surprise destinations of what we're going to do in 2024 as a hosted group when you're done.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I apologize for my voice because I have this allergy attack today. Feeling great, but just not a real clear voice. But thanks for joining us. Some of you may have heard of AmaWaterways, some may not. We are a luxury product, as what you're hearing today from all of the vendors. But most important, I'm going to point out the differences and tell you why and what makes Ama special. We are a family-owned and operated company. Our president, Rudi Schreiner, is from Vienna, Austria, and he does something very important that's very different with any other river company, and that is that our ships are built more shallow at the draw than any other river ship. And what that does is it enables us to maneuver the waters of the rivers much, much easier and much more successfully. And what that means is that when we have rivers come three ways: perfect water, low water, high water. And as you can imagine, the low water can create a bit of a disturbance in the travel on the river. We are the only river line that when we had the low waters in 2018 that did not cancel any sailings. We were able to operate every single one of our sailings because of the fact of the way our ships are built, which is very, very shallow at the draw. So Rudi is the only river line executive that has ever been nominated into the Cruise Line Hall of Fame for innovation. And then we have the beautiful Christine Karst. She's from Germany, has a dual degree in tourism. So she is very active with our onboard experience. Never surprising to see her from ship to ship all throughout the season. You might be standing next to her and she's looking right at you and you don't realize who she is, but she's taking a very fine-tuned approach as to how we can always maintain that 5-star plus level of service and what we can do to add more to the value of river cruising with Ama. And then we have the Murphy family. And Gary is very involved with our advisors. One of the most important things, or the most important thing to AmaWaterways, and it runs a close tie, that is our advisor community as well as our guests. So he makes sure that we are offering all the beautiful tours with many, many options daily, but also that we are again maintaining that 5-star level of service that we are known for. I want to touch base about the rivers, and we cover the 6 largest rivers in Western Europe. And then we have, of course, our exotic rivers. And you can see those off here, off the picture, Asia, Africa, and Egypt. And the Danube is the longest, largest river in Western Europe. The Danube has more embarkation, debarkation ports than any other river. As well, this river offers a consecutive 14-day sailing because of the length of the river. The topography of this river is very lush, very mountainous, very, very green, and very, very beautiful. It does have some war history, so if that's of interest to you, this would probably be one of the rivers I would definitely recommend. Then you come over here to the Rhine River, and it is the second most popular, running a very close tie to first. And the Rhine River is, again, a very mountainous region. It has a lot of green growth, but it's got more of the rocky, jagged type mountains. And this particular river offers you something very special, and that is lots of castles. So if castles are intriguing to you, this is a river I would probably start you on. But as a first-time river cruiser, these are the 2 rivers that I would highly recommend the most. Then you come over here and we have the Mosel River. And if I'm describing this river to you, I would say this looks like something you would see in a Disney book. It is very beautiful. She is a very narrow river. She's very curvy. And at the top of every one of those bends in the river, you see these magnificent castle structures hanging off of the cliffs. Very, very beautiful river. This river, because it is shorter, we combine it with the Main Canal and the Danube and the Rhine River, giving you the option of 7, 10, and 11-day sailings. Then we come over here to the Seine River. And the Seine River is in the northern part of France. It is a beautiful river. We call it the River of the Arts. It is very hilly, very green, but we also visit places like Monet's home, Monet's gardens, and you have a little bit of Van Gogh influence in this area. But one of the most important parts are going to be the beaches of Normandy. And this is a spectacular thing to experience. It is very moving. And we are the only river line that actually do a private tour with a private guide that allows you to lay a wreath for one of the soldiers. And then you come down here, and coming in off the Gironde estuary off the Atlantic is the Dordogne and the Garonne rivers. And this is, as we all know it, the old world wines of France. This is Bordeaux, or the region of Bordeaux. So a very beautiful region. As you can see, quite short, these rivers. And so it really, we visit a lot of the old world chateaus like Saint-Emilion. We do a lot of tastings and a lot of culinary experiences on this river as well. Then you come down here to the Douro region and the Douro River through Portugal and into Spain. A wonderful way to see this part of the world. This area was established 2,000 years ago with the eruption of a volcano. So this area is very steep and very, very mountainous. And this area is known for the production of the white grape, or some of the finest port wines in the world, as well as cork production. Then you come over here to the beautiful Rhone River and all the way up to the Saône River. The Rhone River is a very masculine river, little bit of industry, beautiful area because you are in the southern France or the Alps of France. Lots and lots of Roman history. In the 17th century, all of the bishops and the popes left Italy due to corruption, defected, and came over and settled in a beautiful city called Avignon. And Avignon is known as the city of popes. The Roman history in this area is spectacular. And it is still, believe it or not, operational today. So it is an amazing area for history. This is also the area that you see in a lot of pictures about the south of France with the lavender fields and the sunflower fields. So you can imagine the landscape here is magnificent. And then you can carry on up into the Saône River out of Lyon, up into the beautiful city of Chalon-sur-Saône. This city was established in 179 AD and has one of the largest photography museums that you'll find anywhere in Europe. And it is absolutely magnificent viewing all of these little tiny towns and villages along that river. Then quickly you come over to Asia, and we have Southeast Asia. and you can see Vietnam, Cambodia, and we have added a Thailand extension. One of the finest, most beautiful places in the world, someplace very, very different. So if that's on your list, maybe it's not, I would hope that you would add it because it is an amazing journey for you to visit. Then we go to Africa, and we do Africa 5 different itineraries, but we always spend, if you can see right here, this little river, we always spend 4 nights, 5 days on the 𝗲𝗏 River. This is a 5,000-acre preserve set aside for the preservation of the African elephant. And now Mother Nature has brought every kind of animal you can even possibly imagine to see in Africa right to this area. And then we have Egypt, of course, on the Nile. Currently, we have 1 ship on the Nile. Next year, we'll be adding a 2nd ship, and it has been very, very popular. If this is on your bucket list, please do not wait. Go ahead and make those reservations very early. But we do this as an 11-day program, and you spend 3 nights in Cairo, but you can also start and do your pre or post land extensions in Israel, Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, or Jordan. So it offers an amazing opportunity to see even more of those countries in that region as you're traveling. One thing very important at AmaWaterways is that we give you choices. And in giving you choices, we have up to 6 tours a day, and they are all included in your pricing. You are not just given 1 walking tour a day. We break them down by ability because we want everyone to get to see these beautiful places and experience the UNESCO World Heritage Sites and the history of all of these old villages and cities. So we break it down by gentle walkers, regular walkers, and active walkers. And you can choose something different every day. A lot of days I choose something different just to see what everybody is doing. And it is a world of fun because you get to experience and see new things each and every day. But it is based in a city that has 5 things that we think are very important. The gentle walkers will see 2 or 3 at their own pace. The regular walkers would see 4, and the active walkers would see 5. And of course, nobody runs. We take our time, but we just move a little more quickly with those active walkers. We also have late risers. And to be very honest with you, I've never done this tour because when I am on vacation, I want to see and do and experience everything I possibly can. And these folks start an hour later. So the average tours start about 9 o'clock and the late risers start about 10 o'clock. This is, again, the map of Egypt because the other one is not, it was much smaller. So I wanted to show you a bigger idea of what Egypt offers and all of the pre and post extensions that you have available to you as well. We have something very special coming out next year. We will deliver our 1st ship in March. We will deliver our 2nd ship in May. These ships will only accommodate approximately 70 people. And this is going to be on the Magdalena River through the beautiful country of Colombia. And I don't know if you're familiar with Colombia, but Colombia has really become a very popular spot for vacationing. And this country is known for many things. It is the 2nd most biodiverse country in the world. And in addition to that, it is known for its coffee, of course, and it is also known for the cocoa bean or for chocolate. And they actually supply a lot of the chocolate worldwide. So we've got a lot of very unique things to see and do and visit on this new river. And we are very excited because with the new river, we will be offering a pre and post extension in Panama. So you have lots of new choices there as well. And I'm cutting it kind of short, but I want to give Mark time to talk about some of the very exciting sailings that we have going on this year as well as next year. And Mark, one of the most important things is this year in 2023, we are going to be visiting the Christmas markets. And if you have never visited Europe for the Christmas markets, it is absolutely breathtaking and magical. And Mark, I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can give the dates on that amazing sailing.
Yes, I'll tell you, we've got several hosted groups that we are doing yet this year. The December 5th through the 12th Christmas markets is a marvelous experience to try if you've never done that before, whether you've river cruised or not. And people looking for a deal, those Christmas market times many times are great values. Both the price of the cruise is less and the price of the airfare is less, so that's a winner too. Then we've got a partial charter with Marcy set up in AmaWaterways for that 80th anniversary of D-Day, which is of course June 6th next year, 2024. So if you're interested in that, you can go to our, if interested in any of these, you can go to our website, 𝗏𝗂𝗡𝗥 and check out under our hosted groups or under our group tab. And then we will also be doing, following that June 6th D-Day cruise, literally a month and a half later, Mimi and I will be hosting a group on the Magdalena River on that brand new AmaMagdalena ship. It's smaller, it's 30 suites, 60 people, 30, I say suites, but they're much bigger rooms than most river cruise ships. And that's to Colombia, South America. And I'm so excited about that. Stay tuned. We'll be doing some webinars on that particular itinerary too. Marcy, let me ask you this though. I think this is probably the question a lot of people would like to ask, and I'll ask just one question. River cruises are known for great service and food quality, and I'm sure you would agree that that is true with all river cruises, but I think you are probably prejudiced thinking maybe AmaWaterways is that's one of your stalwarts, isn't it? Your food, your service and your food quality, right?
Absolutely, Mark. And we do purchase our foods locally. We don't have a lot of storage space, so everything is served very fresh and very much right at the moment from the local farmers and local markets. I will tell you, we are very proud of the signature that we were given in 2014, and that is the 𝗲𝗂𝗂𝗪𝗏 signature from a very prestigious French culinary society. And they had boarded many river ships in Europe, and we were the only ones that they inducted into their society for the onboard culinary experience. And we never take our eyes off of that. We are always improving it. I didn't think we could improve it anymore. And then during COVID, we tried new recipes and put new things into place, and it is even better than it was before. So many choices in that direction. And I always like to say, for those of you that come from the Midwest or even the US and you still like that old traditional Western type style foods, you can get that on board as well. I recommend that each day when the menu changes, you try it for that region, because we're going to pair your wines to that as well as your foods to the region you're traveling. And it is spectacular.
Well, I would agree with that. There's no doubt about it. Marcy Newt, thank you very much with AmaWaterways. When we have Robin Piper with Avalon Waterways on now, and then when we get done, I will ask you all some individual questions about river cruising. But, well, hi, Robin Piper. It looks like you're in your car.
I am. I'm not driving though, but I am at an undisclosed location off of 70.
I like it. Robin Piper, again, is with Avalon Waterways. You've probably seen a lot of their commercials on TV that has the picture windows from wall to wall and ceiling to floor with the couple on the bed looking out at the historic sites. And I got to tell you, that's one of the best visual pictures Rob and I have of river cruising. Do you agree?
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree. And you know, when you get on board, you walk into your panoramic suite and you just fall in love all over again. You can't hardly believe that's going to be your view for the next week to 2 weeks, right? So yeah, it's one of our best ideas we've ever had.
Well, I want you to go ahead and share with what makes Avalon Waterways unique, even over and above just that. But and then when you get done with your shortened presentation to 50 minutes, I've got a couple questions to ask you too, okay?
Perfect. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. I'm going to take myself off of the screen for just 1 minute. Maybe I am. Can you see my screen, Mark?
I cannot see your screen. There we go. Got it.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you again, Mark, for having me be part of this great event. And we really at Avalon wanted to talk about some of the things that are changing in the river cruise industry. And we always want to be part of the leadership that makes those changes. So this is a new shortened version of my presentation, but I do want to give you a couple of little key points. Of course, we have beautiful ships. Everyone has beautiful ships, but we really want to make sure that our guest to crew ratio is very important. It gives them more time to focus on customer service. We have been rated as, 5-star, and the care given to our ships to keep them in great order and impeccably clean is really a top priority for our staff. Now, when you think about river cruising, you also have to think about size, right? And we've all been told, from upgrading your soda at McDonald's to, unlimited breadsticks wherever you might go, you have to remember that size does matter, but sometimes smaller passenger counts give higher attention by the crew and give higher guest satisfaction. And that's really what we love about our ships. We have two sizes of vessels right now, 128 passengers and 166 passengers. It is a very unique experience to travel with just a handful of people, right? Now, this is the suite Mark was talking about. And one of the things that I love is on the panorama view, you even have a chair and a love seat all in your stateroom that really allow that room to go no matter what the weather is like outside, because of course we start in March and we sail all the way through December for Christmas markets. What that does is it makes your room available 24/7, 365 days out of the year. You can see great views even if it's raining or snowing a little bit. So that to me is really important. Of course, we have those great comfortable beds that face the view, and I think you'll fall in love with them just like so many other people have. Now, the other thing that is really important is the size of our staterooms. We want to make sure you have as much livable space, and our suites, our panoramic suites, we have 3 levels of those suites. They're all 200 square feet. They're all laid out the same with the panoramic view, the bed that faces the view. Those suites are 30% larger and have 100% wider views, of course. And we really want you to take this opportunity to discover and dream about what your vacation would be like on Avalon. Now, we don't want to brag, but I do have to say these awards that we've listed here are really important because they come from people like you, people who come, they rate. It's all passenger recognition. So we want to thank you for voting and for recognizing all that our crew does. Whoops. Sorry about that. Now, another great part of river cruising, and Marcy talked about it also, was we have these great excursions. And for many years, we started off with just everybody did a walking tour, right? But then we found out so many people love river cruising that we really need to add more choices. So that's what we've done. We have our active, discovery, and classic excursions, and they're all included. You get a choice of one each day. And what we love about that is it gives you the choice of what you want to do. Our active, you see the biker, the person on the bicycle here. Discovery, of course, that's going to be more hands-on experiences. It might be the cooking class or, oh my gosh, the painting class. How great. And then we still have classics. So if those are going to be, if it's a new destination for you, the classic excursion might be perfect because you want to know the history. So a little something for everyone. One of the things that I love the most, and I know if you sailed with us in the last couple of years, you've probably tried this, but we do have our own app, and it is it's complimentary in the Apple Store or in Google Play, but it's also your navigation tool. It doesn't require Wi-Fi to be operational, and it doesn't go against your data plan. What it does do is it offers you suggestions on dining, suggestions on where to find certain shops, all those kinds of things. And you can read here, it actually will post directly to your social media. It'll allow you to label your photographs so that you remember what it was when you get back home. So there's a lot of great things, including your electronic documents. And for us, we also know that some of you want to be very adventurous. Maybe not every day, but there are some adventures that we kind of hold on to, right? So we've got our adventure hosts on every single sailing, and they will give you some guidance for optional and free time pursuits that maybe you like to hike or to bike or to kayak on the Danube. So these are the folks that are going to get you involved in those types of things. They will do stretching classes perhaps, or maybe they're yoga certified, or maybe they're some other kind of certification, but they will be leading those types of events. And then, of course, we talk about cruising your way. And this is what's really important. This is our classic romantic Rhine itinerary. But look at all these choices. We can add those on: London and Paris, Lake Como and Lucerne, all of those with our sister company at Globus. I won't talk too much about that, but your counselor at Cruise Holidays would be able to answer all of your questions about that. And then, of course, food. Who doesn't love great food on vacation? We certainly do, and it is award-winning as well. And what I love is we have the flex dining. We've got the panorama dining room for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We also have the panoramic bistro in the evening, which is more of a self-service tasting menu. We have the Sky Grill that you can utilize. Sometimes we'll do crepes upstairs in the morning or in the afternoon. We do barbecues out there, all kinds of different things. And then we also have room service. Continental breakfast in the morning can be delivered to your room. Lunch or dinner can be delivered to your room. So a lot of great choices there as well. And then, of course, we also have one other cruising experience, and it is called our Active and Discovery. And I did want to keep this in here because we have so many additional options that are on our Active and Discovery excursions. And we have one on every river that we offer right now, and several on the Danube. So that is definitely something, if you like to stay active, this is something that you want to take a look at. Also great if you want to bring high school or college age students with you, if that's part of your family dynamic right now. Active and Discovery is perfect for that. And again, why is Active and Discovery so special? Well, we have more unique ports, we do more time in each port, and we do more day sailing. And of course, we have a higher ratio of those Active and Discovery excursions. So it's a win-win for everybody. Now, I will talk a little bit more about specials at the event tonight, but I do want to let you know that we have some fantastic offers, including some really inexpensive air promos, and everybody loves air promos. And then, of course, for booking with Cruise Holidays, which I will reiterate what Mark told us earlier, you will not get a better price if you call in to us. We are pro travel professional. I am pro Cruise Holidays. We want you to travel globally and buy locally. So we also have another offer of $100 off per person. And we want to make sure that your next vacation is on a great river cruise line. Thanks so much, everybody.
Hey, Robin, that was excellent. And by the way, thank you for that last comment, because Robin, if I can ask you again before you start driving, it really is true. It's a myth, isn't it? Yeah, if everybody could come back on, it's a myth, isn't it, that if you skip the middleman, in this case, the travel agent, us, you'll get a better deal by booking with you direct. And Robin, that's just not true, is it?
It isn't with our company. I know, we really do value what you guys bring to the table because you know about all the vendors that are here today. And I'd love to think that everybody belongs on my ship, but I know that we all have unique personalities. So do our ships. So you guys do a great job of matching people up with the right line.
Well, that's been our business philosophy and model for 34 years. And I think it's never been more important than it is right now, because there are so many challenges still that the world has to offer. A lot of those challenges are airfare and the delay in getting from one place to another, and the flights are full. And if you miss something, you can't get to the destination in time. So taking our advice on pre-packages, on post-packages, on the air schedules. We've got a brand new airport here in Kansas City. We're so excited about that. But like everything, there's going to be a learning curve to that new airport. So give yourself more time. Hey, let me ask some questions here real quick. And Tony, if you had, Dr. with Uniworld, I'll ask you first. If you had to say, what's the one or two biggest reasons why river cruising has gotten so popular in the last 15 to 20 years, what would those one or two reasons be?
Well, I think people just realize this is a way to really travel within the destination, not only safely, but you're able to easily visit multiple ports and towns and villages within the destination. So you don't need, inter-country flights, which, as you mentioned, are complicated as it is. And you can really just explore that destination further. And many of us, it's all inclusive. So you have this amazing floating hotel, and so that's already taken care of for the duration that you can enjoy with all of the amenities of a hotel right there at your fingertips too.
Yeah, I agree with both of those things. I love the fact we call it here river cruising. Seems like it's vacationing at a slower pace, but when you get done with your vacation, you've seen and experienced a lot. And
yeah,
Sonia, let me ask this. Sonia Smith with Viking, you have the biggest cruise line here. We are getting more and more people interested in vacations that take them back to their heritage. Are you seeing, is that a thing with you guys too? Are you seeing that?
Yeah, it is very true, Mark. In fact, I was just working with a travel agent the other day up in Iowa, and she had some people that had Sicilian ancestry and they want to go to Sicily. And so I was working with her on an itinerary with that. So yeah, a lot of people are into the ancestry.com and they're doing their backgrounds, and my family's done ours, and my husband's all Polish. I didn't know that, and he didn't either, but now he tells no Polish jokes anymore. But it's so nice because like our Viking Homelands tour cruise that we do goes to Poland. So you can, like you said, your people are going to find the right ship, the right line for what they're looking for. So if they're looking to go and do some Irish or Italian ancestry, that kind of thing, then they'll find what they want so that they're happy. So it is very popular though. A lot of people are looking into their heritage.
Yeah, we're hearing more and more and more of that. Hey, Taylor, let me ask you this. Taylor Henwood with American Queen Voyages. Are you seeing the fact that people like the smaller experiences, I guess, as vacation? I guess what I'm trying to say, it's fascinating to watch us, or for us to see the ocean cruise industry where the ships keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that has led to much more popularity, especially after the pandemic, of people wanting smaller and smaller and smaller, a little more intimate. Taylor, do you find that statement to be true with you all too?
Yeah, I would say maybe it's definitely a reactionary force against the 5,000 passenger vessels that are currently out there. Those are great for certain things and demographics and vacations, but definitely we see a lot of people there's two kind of sides to who we see come on board typically. Like half of Americans don't have passports because they choose to either vacation in American cities They choose to go to national parks. We have some of the best park programs in the entire world. So on top of those destinations, they come on our cruise line as well to kind of experience the North American, vacation experience. The other demographic that we see a lot come on board are people that have gone on Viking cruises in Europe or AMA or Uniworld, and they've done all these different river cruises, and now they want to try experience river cruising in the United States. So it's two very different demographics, but they kind of come on board together and have a really good time.
Yeah. Taylor, let me ask you this while I've got you there. We're seeing more and more people, and I'm more alert to it right now because my wife just went 6 weeks ago through open heart bypass surgery. And so people that have had medical issues or have medical issues, in many cases, their doctors or they, as the individual, want to stay closer to home and closer to medical care. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah, that's definitely true. And our, especially anybody that has mobility issues traveling on our product, we do a really good job of catering to that demographic too. Like for examples, all of our motor coaches are wheelchair accessible. Our vessels are wheelchair accessible. We have elevators on board all of our boats as well. Even to the point where if you have a hard time walking, we have golf carts that will take you from the boat to the motor coach to give you your daily tour. So that way, if you have any kind of knee issues or anything like that, we can help you out with that.
Yeah, I went on a river cruise, I don't know, 3 months or so after a hip replacement, and I was a little bit slower than I normally am. So I did enjoy the gentle walkers, as they called it, the gentle walkers tours. And Marcy, let me ask you this. I love this slogan, I guess is probably what it is, that ocean cruises take you to countries, river cruises take you through countries. Comment on that, please. Marcy?
Sorry.
There we go.
The cities and the villages along the rivers of Europe were established for trading. And so you can literally be in the heart of a city many times, or heart of a village, within just a couple of minutes, and you really get to immerse yourself with the local cultures. The oceans, more so, they go around the countries just to the larger cities on the sides of the water, actually, with the big water, the oceans. So you're not seeing and immersing yourself with the local cultures, the local people, the local culinary experiences, nearly like you are on the rivers. And that's what we believe. We believe that your vacation should be an amazing experience. And within your experience, you should meet with the local people, enjoy what the local people enjoy, and really be a part of that country and of their culture.
Yeah, Robin Piper with Avalon, that cultural component, people are wanting that more than ever before right now, no matter where it is that they go, right?
Well, we really want to be, when I go on vacation, I know when a lot of people go on vacation, we do want to learn something. We want to be good global citizens. And that's about being in destination. That's what it's all about. Maybe, you learn new things from each other. You might learn some words, when I was a kid, I always liked to learn the bad words when we would travel internationally. But I mean, I know them all now, so it's okay. But, being part of a community like that, even for a short period of time, it changes a person. It makes you a better person, I think.
Yeah, I really do too. I know how much the cultural part of vacationing has influenced our son and our daughter. Our daughter's become an immigration attorney because of all the places that we took her growing up, where she was at that influential age and wanted to help the less fortunate. I think that's fabulous, and that's a great example of the cultural part of it. Tony, Dr. with Uniworld, let me ask you this. It's pretty amazing. More and more people are spending more and more money on their vacation. They want better accommodations and they want longer vacations. Do you see that as just a quick post-pandemic fad, or do you see that as something that will continue on as the years go on?
I think if anything that all of us learned from pandemic is there are so many greater things out there for us to experience and enjoy. I personally think that the longer vacations and experiences are here to stay. I mean, we've introduced Rivers of the World. This is our inaugural year of that, and we're already selling into 2024 for it. And we're seeing a lot of our longer itineraries really booking up. So I really think it's here to stay. We all are looking for something more than the daily grind, and to really just bring back memories with our family.
I agree with you. I think there's a lot of people that those 2 years of pandemic time where they were not able to do what they wanted to do, they're making up for lost time. And I get that, man. I preach all the time. Spend your kids' inheritance with your kids, but spend it with or without your kids, spend it. And we see more and more people doing that. You know, I talk about the back-to-back vacations that a lot of people are taking. And Marcy New with AMA, let me ask you this question. You guys just blew everybody's minds about a year ago with a, what was it, a 45 and 46 day back-to-back cruise? Did you sell that one well? 7 of them back-to-back?
Yeah, Mark, we did. We implemented a 45-day, and we had only one sailing set aside for that. It is 4 ships, 45 days. You never overnight in a hotel. You're always on board a ship. And it's amazing. It's sold out in less than 2 weeks. So then we thought, oh gosh, we have such a waiting list. So we then implemented another one for the spring and another one for the fall. And the other ones are 46 days. They're 3 ships. And we have very few cabins left on any of them. Just going back, as we mentioned, people are looking for a longer, more immersive vacation. And we, to our surprise, I mean, we knew that it would sell, but we certainly didn't think it would sell quite so quickly. But it has done extremely well. And then we are seeing that a lot more people are doing the pre and post extensions, creating that longer vacation also.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's such a important factor, and we're seeing it. I think it's going to be bigger and bigger and bigger. Sonia Smith with Viking, do you see more and more of the same thing, the longer cruises back to back or back to back to back? Are you seeing that with Viking also?
Yeah, we do our Viking World cruise. It's 138 days, and it sells out like in 3 or 4 weeks every time we launch a new one. So it's very popular. And you know, another big trend going on right now, Mark, is people that since the pandemic, so many people are working from home, but they're working from our cruise ships. They're coming on board and they're spending 2 or 3 weeks on our ship. They work and see sights at the same time. So I'm amazed how many people work from our cruise ships. I've seen that a lot lately.
Which says Wi-Fi is going to be, or is, so important.
Very popular, very good. Yeah, got to have good Wi-Fi on your ships.
Taylor, the other thing I think I'd like you to address is the entertainment. I know the one thing I've heard from ocean cruisers over the years that are a little bit concerned about trying river cruises. Well, I love the big entertainment on the big ships. And we say, yeah, big ships can have big entertainment, but river cruise ships excel in other areas, but they will give local entertainment, and you'll find it very culturally and entertaining, culturally enriching and entertaining. And Taylor, American Queen Voyages does real well with that local cultural entertainment, right?
Yeah, I would say, but we have the option for really everything. Like, so if you really wanted big theater entertainment, we do have that available on the American Queen, for example. Like, our theater on the American Queen is actually modeled off of the Ford Theater in Washington, D.C. So it actually has 2 levels to it with suite balconies. And then it's got enough to fit most of the ship for any particular showing that we have. And that has like that can fit a full brass band, multiple dancers on stage. So we have big nightly entertainment on that vessel. The smaller vessels, when you're getting to like the Countess or the Duchess, or if you're going on one of our lakes and ocean products, that's going to be, we still have nightly music and entertainment on a lot of these, but it's going to be more education-based entertainment. We have Riverlorians that come on board that tell you the history of the river every day. And so we do a lot of lectures based on that. Especially our Alaska product, it's going to be, we have a lot of scientists that come on board to kind of do lectures about the local biology and the marine life there too. So yeah, we do a really good job with what we call like education entertainment on board the vessels, but we still have a mix of both.
Well, I think all of you do. I love the local entertainment that comes on everywhere in the world. It's local and you get a good feel. I love the word immersion that is used a lot now in the cultural experiences. You know, I'm a big history guy, but the reality is people, including me, want now cultural experiences. Yeah, a lot of us do love scenery. Everybody loves scenery and wildlife, and that is true and available in a lot of places. But the cultural immersion, the historic part of it, I just love. I love how river cruises have adapted to the consumer in today's less formal era. And Tony, let me ask you this. We get asked all the time if guys have to wear a suit and tie and tuxedo and ladies have to wear a gown and high heels. What's your answer to the dress code on your line?
Yeah, that's obviously a popular question, I would say, especially in the Midwest. I was in Wisconsin, and they more than once in different destinations mentioned we're a bunch of hicks here. But it's not, I mean, the experiences and the ship is meant to be luxurious. The service is meant to be luxurious, but you are on vacation and you should be comfortable on vacation. So we would like to say, smart casual is what most of our guests will enjoy wearing. So if the guys are just wearing slacks and a polo or whatever, that's great. And obviously you want to be comfortable when you're out on your experiences throughout the day. So if it's a hot day, you're wearing shorts and tennis shoes, right? And then, from the evening events, if it's a farewell or welcome reception or dinner with the captain, you might choose to dress a little bit more. Guys might want to just wear a jacket, but certainly nothing that needs to be formal throughout your experience.
Yeah, just personally, I don't think I've worn a tie on a river cruise ship. I can't remember the last time I did that. It might have been 2005 or something like that. But times have changed. Times have changed. And you guys, most everybody's has to abide by the rules unless you're in business class of 1 50-pound check-through luggage when you go to Europe or when you go to almost anywhere in the world. And that's a big deal. So it is a much more casual, I like to call it resort casual experience than ocean cruises. And my compliments to all of you, your lines, because you all figured that out first and before the ocean cruise industry did, and you've made that. I mean, that's a big deal to a lot of people, as all of you that cover us in the Midwest know, and probably all over the country. Sometimes you like to dress up, but most times, if you got to figure out what to leave home, you're going to leave your long gown home, you're going to leave your sports coat or your suit home. If that's the last thing that puts you over the weight limit, you'll leave it home. Last but not least, and I'll tell you, I just want to touch on this again because I want my audience to know a lot of people know us here at Cruise Holidays of Kansas City, and there's probably a lot that are watching this or will watch this that don't know us at all. But it's my personal belief that the biggest decision really any customer can make on finding somebody to help them plan their vacation is who they use to help them plan their vacation. Robin Piper, what's your comments on that question or statement?
Your team is second to none. I mean, it's amazing how much knowledge each of them have individually because they've been on board the vessels, they've sailed with us as well, but they really do listen. And I think that's the important part. Everybody has an idea of what they want their vacation to be. And sometimes telling your counselor what you don't want it to be actually gets you where you want to be, right? So they're very good at asking the questions that need to be asked. And quite honestly, I think, if ever given the choice, I would certainly say, give everybody a call, give them a call over at Cruise Holidays.
Yeah, Sonia Smith, you want to take a shot at that one?
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that you and Mimi are so good to get your agents on our ships. I had a few of them on my ships last year, and it was so fabulous to have them on. And I think that's so important because they need to see and do just like we do as representatives to be able to, you know, recognize what their client is looking for and to see the differences in the ships. So I congratulate you and Mimi for, you know, really stepping up and making sure, you know, helping them get on our ships and making sure they're very educated, because that really sets your office apart from so many that don't allow their agents to get on our ships as much.
I appreciate that. Marcy, what's your comments there, please?
I think that, excuse me, I think that you and Mimi do an amazing job of encouraging your staff to experience the different lines. And what that does overall is enables them, as they're listening, to also give good guidance as to what vacation is going to be the best value and going to exceed their expectations. You do an amazing job at that.
Well,
It comes from the management down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Taylor, let me ask you this about our staff. Mimi and I have always had a philosophy that the customer likes to do business or will do business with people that they like and people that they trust. And Taylor, do you find our people meet that category of likable and trustworthy?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have your agents reach out to me quite often if they have any questions about anything with the product. So there's a lot of consumer advocacy with your agency to the clients, and I can just tell that from how they interact with me. So yeah, definitely, I see a lot of positivity there.
Yeah. And Tony, I guess last on that question, because obviously as owner of this company, and I like to call it rebuilding our company back after the pandemic, which has happened much quicker than I thought. We just had a record February. We had a record January and February start of the year, best in 34 years. So praise the Lord on that. But Mimi and I also invested during those 2 years of pandemic time in keeping our core people and keeping our best people, knowing that when this came back, praying that when this came back, it would come back and grow tremendously. And Tony, what would you tell our customers about the Cruise Holidays Kansas City staff?
Yeah, well, I think just kind of mimicking what you just said, Mark, I mean, it shows that you invest in your people, that you invest in your staff, that you are supportive of them. And, you know they can not only trust and rely on you, but they know they can rely on us when they need support as well, and reaching out to the representatives to give them the support that they need. So I think with the years of business that you've been doing, that also shows to your customers as well. They see that loyalty, they see that trust that you build within the agency and within the community.
Well, I appreciate that, and we do. We've been very, very involved in our community for a long, long, long time, and giving back is one of the ways you say thank you for your success. But I was just thinking of that, Tony. I bet all 5 of you were probably smiling or said, yes, Mark, your staff really does get a hold of us all the time to help. Because our staff, we've also taught them that we're partners in this, aren't we? And
yes.
And yes.
Robin, why don't you address this? Because it is a partnership in our relationship, and to satisfy our customer and to set their expectations correctly, correct? And to get them the best deal they can get. I think that's good. Well, listen, I've got to say thank you to everybody. I appreciate you all being on here today. I appreciate your support to us, and most importantly, in helping us. We match our clients up with what's best for us, and then we send them to your company to deliver the product and deliver the satisfaction. And all of you do a marvelous job at that, and my congratulations. So thank you all for joining us today. Hey, and those of you watching, give us a call, talk to our agency. Go look at our website, cruiseholidays.kc.com. Be sure to put the KC in it, cruiseholidays.kc.com, or call us at 816-505-1500, 816 area code 505-1500. We're here to help you. We want to help match you up with the most perfect vacation for you. And if you've never tried a river cruise, let me encourage you so strongly. Try it. We'll be able to match you up with something that will exceed your expectations. I promise you that, at the best value you're going to find anywhere. So thank you, everybody. We'll say
Thanks,
adios and get back
Thank you
there.
so
Bye.
much, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye-bye.